Bienvenidos. Soy Ana de Aprende con Flowers. Remember, my videos do build off of each other, so if you haven't seen my video on cardinal numbers, then you're missing out. Hoy vamos a aprender sobre los números ordinales. Today we're going to learn about ordinal numbers. What are ordinal numbers? Well, we learned a whole list of things of what cardinal numbers are, right? Well, ordinal numbers, as the name implies, has to do with the order of a number within a series. It's also used for the date. Now you might say, Anna, we said that date is used with cardinal numbers. Well, it is, except for the first of any month. So if it's the 1st of October, es el primero de octubre. If it's the first of the month, it's el primero del mes. You don't say it's the 1 of October. That's not how the dates work. So use primero for the first of when it comes to dates. Let's review some ordinal numbers. Remember that ordinal numbers, as regular cardinal numbers, also has to agree with the gender of the noun that they're describing. Keep that in mind. I'll just go over the most basic. Primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto, sexto, séptimo, octavo, noveno, décimo. Undécimo, duodécimo, décimo tercero, décimo cuarto, décimo quinto, décimo sexto, décimo séptimo, décimo octavo, décimo noveno, vigésimo. Some notes on ordinal numbers is that just like how we had the difference between uno and un, there's also going to be the difference between primero and primer, and also tercero and tercer. This only happens when in front of a singular masculine noun, so that's pretty easy to keep up with, right? Other notes is that all these ordinal numbers can be plural, except for primer and tercer. Those are just going to revert to their primero stages and become plural. So primer, when it's plural, is going to be primeros. Tercer, when it's plural, is going to be terceros. When it comes to abbreviations, like in English, how we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on, we have that in Spanish too. But it's easier because you just have to think about if something's masculine or feminine. So with the masculine articles, you'll just add the number and then the superscript O. So if it's the first and it's not a primer, it's a primero, you do 1-0. And then segundo, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto, and so on. When it comes to primer and tercer, what we do is their numbers is going to be 1 and then ER, 3 and then ER. When it's plural, you can add an S at the end. Like, not with these ones. Those ones you don't do the primers. You can just add an S up here for the most part. You don't really have to, but you can. When it comes to the feminine ones, now you just change your O's to an A. So you have la primera, o primeras, right? But for the most part, we're using singulars when we think of this. Like, rarely do you use plural, at least in my mindset. I could be wrong. If you think of some plurals that you commonly use, let me know. But segunda, tercera, cuarta, and quinta. Okay? So let's look at a few ordinal examples. The first one is, llegué en primer lugar y recibí un gran premio. As you can see, we are using primer. Why primer? Because primer is describing lugar, which is el lugar. Now, if we just took out lugar, and we would have to take out en, right? We could say llegué primero if you're a guy, or llegué primera y recibí un gran premio. So you can do that, but you would have to remove the describing noun, okay? So think of numbers as primarily being masculine, and this will hopefully help you understand it better. But hoy es el primero de octubre. Today is the 1st of October. So because it is the 1st, it's going to be el primero. You wouldn't say la primera de octubre because numbers are primarily male. Now, because I'm a woman, and if I'm the first to buy a new video game, soy la primera en ordenar el nuevo videojuego. Okay? If that doesn't make sense to you, please leave a comment below and I'll try to explain it differently. Or you can always sign up for classes and I can help you better. Let's take a look at how you can use cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers together. Estuve enferma los 3 primeros días. I was sick the first 3 days. First, I am using enferma instead of enfermo because I'm a lady. If you're a guy, you use enfermo. But in English, we like to say this as the first 3 days instead of the 3 first days. In Spanish, we say the 3 first days. Okay? Now, when it comes to fractions, if you're not talking about a half or a third, you use the ordinal. And again, keep this ingrained in your brain. We always put cardinal in front of ordinal. So when we're looking at 1/2, we say la mitad or un medio. Okay? 2 different ways to say the same thing. When it comes to a third, we're not going to say un tercero. That's just, it's not going to work. So when thinking of fractions, let that leave your mind. We say un tercio. Okay? So a third. So not third place or third this, it's un tercio. When you think of 2/3, it would be dos tercios. Okay, again, keeping that pluralness in there. When we talk about a fourth, you have un cuarto. If it's 2/4, you have dos cuartos. Okay? Y con eso, gracias por acompañarme en este viaje de aprendizaje. Chao.